Brendan, what's the show of support from the public been like?
The public reaction has been off the scale, and the two things that I've been very focused on is how do we support and protect the children, and how do we make sure that something good comes out of this. And what the public support and outpouring of love around this does is it also helps the children see that what they're feeling other people are feeling, that the grief that they feel isn't abnormal, that they feel it more acutely and more painfully and more personally, but that actually their mother was someone who was loved by lots of people, and that therefore it's okay to be upset and it's okay for them to cry and to be sad about it. And the reason I wanted to speak today was just to thank the public, who have been incredible in response to this.
Tomorrow would have been her birthday, and partly because of what you say is that huge outpouring right around the world, there are big events planned. What do you hope tomorrow will be? In
London, in Batley, where she's from, but also right around the world, there's this idea to mark what made her who she was, and also both as an act of memorial, but also to say that our societies and our world can be a fairer, more loving, less nasty, less hostile place. But then I also hope that it will bring people together and send a message that counts not just in the next few weeks, but in the few months, and it changes the way people think about how you do politics, how you engage with each other, how you treat people. That's what I hope.
Was she worried about our current political culture, do you think?
Yeah, very worried. And from left and right. I think she was very worried that the language was coarsening, that people were being driven to take more extreme positions, that people didn't work with each other as individuals and on issues. It was all much too tribal and unthinking. And she was particularly worried, we talked about this regularly, we were particularly worried about the direction of, not just in the UK but globally, the direction of politics at the moment, particularly around creating division and playing on people's worst fears rather than their best instincts.
And this, of course, has happened at a time when Britain is engaged in a big national conversation about our place in the world and our place in Europe. There have been very strong views on both sides, often expressed in pretty harsh terms. What did she make of that whole debate? We know that she was clearly for staying in the European Union, but what did she make of how the conversation's being conducted?
She worried about the tone of the debate around this. Not that it's not a legitimate debate to have, and that there aren't completely legitimate views on both sides of the debate. She completely respected that people could disagree for very good reasons, but more about the tone of whipping up fears and whipping up hatred potentially. So she was definitely worried about that. But it's not just about the EU referendum. I think the EU referendum has created a more heightened environment for it.
Do you worry now about people using her in the political debate?
She was a politician and she had very strong political views, and I believe she was killed because of those views. I think she died because of them, and she would want to stand up for those in death as much as she did in life. I don't want people ascribing views to her that she didn't have, but I certainly want to continue to fight for the legacy and for the politics and the views that she espoused, because they were what she was. She died for them, and we definitely want to make sure that we continue to fight for them.
There have been, as you will have seen, suggestions that you should run in her seat. Is that something you're thinking about? Might you do it?
No. My only overriding priority at the moment is how I make sure that I protect my family and my kids through this. Jo was a passionate feminist, somebody who actively campaigned to get more women to Parliament, and I think she would have been very annoyed with me if I had decided that when